Today we'll be looking at stochiometry and we'll be learning the whole concept of stochiometry through questions from grade 11. So firstly we'll be looking at mole to mole conversion. To do mole to mole conversion, I have taken this question. This is a very common question in exams. So the question is, how many moles of N gas are needed to react with 13.5 moles of H gas to form ammonia? So in most of the questions, they won't give us the balanced chemical equation and we need to form it. So how will you write this equation? Firstly, look at all the various compounds given. One is N gas, then is H gas, then ammonia. So N gas reacts with H gas to form ammonia. That's there in the question. So H plus N gives us ammonia is NH3. Okay. Now what we have to do is we need to balance the equation. So we know H3, so we add 3 to H here. Nextly, N cannot exist on its own. The gas should be in its double form. So when there is 2 here, we should add 2 here. Now when there's 2 here, H 3 into 2 is 6. So there are 6H here, whereas 3H here. So add 2. This is how you write the balanced chemical equation for this form equation. Nextly, they have given us 13.5 moles of H gas reacts with N gas to form ammonia. So how many moles of N gas are needed? So write down what's given. Here 13.5. So just write 13.5 moles of H gas reacts with N2 to give 2NH3. The question is to find how many moles of N gas are needed. For this we need to take the ratio. How do you take the ratio? How many moles or how many molecules are there here of H3? So we take the ratio H is to N. So 3 is to 1. Over here, see, H is to N. H is 3. 3 is to, what is N? N is 1. When there is nothing given, take it as 1. So 1. This is what we have in the balanced equation. In the question, 13.5 moles reacted. So we can take 13.5 is to, we do not know how many moles are reacted with H over here. This is what we need to find. So we take this as X. Now what we do? We cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we get 3X is equal to 13.5. Or X is equal to 13.5 divided by 3, which will give us 4.5 moles. This is how you do mole to mole conversion in stochiometry. So the final answer is 4.5. Hence we write 4.5 moles of N gas are needed to react with 13.5 moles of H gas to form ammonia. The next thing that we need to know is mole to gram conversion. So this is the question. This is another common question that are used for exams. The question is, how many grams of carbon dioxide are formed when 4 moles of propane react with oxygen? So again, what all are given? Carbon dioxide, propane and oxygen. So propane reacts with oxygen to give out carbon dioxide. So write the equation. What is propane? Propane is C3H8. Reacts with oxygen plus O. It gives us carbon dioxide. So write CO2. Now check what all are missing. Here we have H8. So 8 hydrogen. So add 8 hydrogen. Before that, O cannot exist on its own. It should be in its double form. So O2. Here there is already O2. Then what is missing? CO2 is given out and 4H2O should be here. When we balance the equation, we get 4H2O and we add 3 over here since there are 3 carbon over here. And then 5 oxygen to balance out this. See, 3 2s are 6 and then 4. So this is the balanced equation. 5 2s are 10. So here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the equation is balanced. So what do we need to do? We need to find how many grams. Before they asked moles. In this question they asked moles. Here we need grams. To find grams again, we need to find the number of moles of CO2. So we take 1 mole for propane, and here we have 3 moles of carbon dioxide. So we take the ratio of propane to carbon dioxide. We can take any ratio. I'm just taking propane and carbon dioxide for now. So what will be the ratio for this? This will be 1 is to, see, 1 is to, what is the ratio for carbon dioxide? 3. Then in the question it is given 4 moles of propane react with oxygen. So write that down, 4 moles. So again 4, and then is the ratio x. We need to find x. 4 is to x. Again cross multiply and we'll get 12 is equal to x. So 12 moles of carbon dioxide is formed. But is that what is needed from this question? We need to find the grams. So how would you convert mole to gram? We know the equation. N is equal to m divided by molar mass. Number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. What do we have here? We have the number of moles. So 12 is given. Do we know the mass? We need to find the mass. Divided by, what's the molar mass of carbon dioxide? The molar mass of carbon dioxide will be equal to, C is equal to 12, and 12 plus 16 into 32, which will give us 44. So the molar mass is 44. So this is what is given. We can further write this equation as m is equal to n into m. We'll put this aside. M is equal to n into m. When we equate this, we get it like this. So to find m will give you the grams, right? And we need the grams for this question. So m is equal to 12 into 44, which is equal to 528 grams. This is how you do mole to gram conversion in stoichiometry. Next we will be having gram to mole conversion in stoichiometry. So the question is, how many moles of H gas are necessary to react with 6 grams of N gas to form ammonia? So we need to find the moles with grams. So again, what all are given here? H gas, N gas and ammonia. What is ammonia? Before we did. So H plus N gives us ammonia is NH3. Again, we know the balanced chemical equation, so I'm just writing it down. Okay. This is the balanced chemical equation. Nextly, write what all are given. So we have 6 gram of N gases used. 6 grams. Okay. So what's the first step? We need to convert mass to moles. We need to find moles, right? So we can convert this mass to moles. To find the number of moles of N gas, number of moles of N is equal to mass of M divided by molar mass of N gas. And then we already have M, and we need to find molar mass of N. Molar mass of N is equal to 28 grams. N into 2, 28 grams. So this will be equal to, N is equal to, mass is 6 gram. Mass is 6 gram. 6 divided by 28, which is equal to 0.23 moles. Okay, so we found the number of moles for N gas. Now what do? We find the ratio. So we need to find the number of moles of H gas. We already have the number of moles of N gas. So we take the ratio of H and N. So the ratio of H is to N is, H over here is 3 and here is 1. So 3 is to 1. Now we have the number of moles of N. The number of moles of N is 0.23. 0.23 is to, what is the number of moles of H gas? We don't know, so we take it as X. Again, cross multiply and you'll get X is equal to 0.69 moles. So this is how you find gram to mole conversion in stoichiometry. Take the ratio. This formula you need to remember to do the stoichiometry conversions. And the last step of conversion that you need to know is gram to gram conversion. So this is the question that I've taken. How many grams of oxygen react with 10 grams of hydrogen to form water? So what are the things given? Oxygen, hydrogen and water. So write it down. O plus H gives us H2O. Now balance it out. I told you O cannot stay in its own. So 2. So add 2 here to balance oxygen on this side and this side. Again, when there are 4 hydrogens here, whereas only 1 hydrogen here. So balanced out like this. So this is the balanced equation. Now what is given to us? It is given 10 grams of oxygen. So write it down. 10 grams of oxygen. What do we need to find out? No, sorry, 10 grams of hydrogen. So write down 10 grams of hydrogen. We need to find out the number of grams or how much grams of oxygen react with 10 grams of hydrogen. So what is given to us? 10 grams of hydrogen. So to find this, we can do mole to gram conversion, right? Again here. And number of moles of H is equal to M divided by M. M is given to us. It is 10. So 10 divided by molar mass of H2, 2H2 is? The molar mass of H2 is 2, which will give us 5 moles. So we did the first step. We found out the number of moles of the known element. We know one of its values. So we found the number of moles of H2. Now we can take the ratio of O and H. So O is to H will give you. O over here is nothing. So it is 1. 1 is 2. H over here is 2. So 1 is to 2. Again, we know that the number of moles of H when it is 10 grams is 5. So take 5 over here and here it is X. We need to find this out. Again, cross multiply, we'll get 2X is equal to 5. X is equal to 5 by 2, which is equal to 2.5 moles. 2.5 moles. Now what do we need to find? We need to find the number of grams of oxygen. So how do we convert this into grams? Again with the formula N is equal to M by M. Molar mass. What is the molar mass of oxygen? 32. So we can write this as M is equal to N into M. We know the number of moles of oxygen because we found it out. It is 2.5. 2.5 into molar mass of oxygen. Molar mass of O2 is equal to 32 because it is 16 into 2, which is equal to 32. 2.5 into 32, which will finally give us 80 grams. This is how you find the gram to gram conversion, and this is all the stoichiometry concepts. So if this video helped you to understand this concept very clearly, please like and subscribe. And before that, I have a question for you. Take this as your homework question. So the question is, how many moles of sulfur trioxide will form when 8.4 moles of sulfur dioxide react with oxygen? So just for your help, or just to help you, I'll give you the balanced chemical equation. So what all are given? Sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide and oxygen. Sulfur trioxide is SO3. But then sulfur trioxide is formed. So this should be in the reactant side. So I'm just doing like this. Okay, this is the reactant side and this is the product side and this is the reactant side. It is formed, so it should be in the product side. SO3 will give you and then sulfur dioxide. So SO2 is reacted with oxygen will give you sulfur trioxide. So balancing this equation, again oxygen should be with 2. It should be in the double form. So if 2 is here, then 2 should be here as well. And then here will be 3. So this, 2. Oh my goodness. 2, 3 here. Like this. Okay. So this is the balanced equation. And what all are given? 8.4 moles. And then what do you need to find? The moles. So I'm pretty sure you understood what kind of conversion is asked here when moles and moles are given. So comment this answer below, and if you understand, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching and all the best.